Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a quick beer review. Going back out to Middleburg Heights, Ohio. Fathead Brewing. One of my favorite breweries, for sure. Courtesy of my man Dennis. I appreciate you, my friend. This is Hop JuJu. I have reviewed this in the past. I remember absolutely loving this beer back in the day. First time I ever reviewed this, gosh, when was that? 2016-ish, I think. I went to Vegas with Nate, and we were drinking hop. I brought Hop JuJu with me and drove out with it. We were drinking Hop JuJu in the taxis we were going in. It was fucking awesome. It was so fun just walking around with bottles of Hop JuJu on the strip. This beer was so fire back in the day, so very much excited to revisit it. It's per the label 9% Imperial India Pale Ale, 90 IBUs it says. But as we've talked about in the other Fatheads reviews, I don't know if the IBU thing is a big deal anymore. These beers that are saying they're high IBUs aren't like crazy bitter, but canned on, I think this says September 19th, so 2 weeks in the can, time of recording. Gosh, I'm excited to drink this beer. I fucking loved this beer back in the day. Look at that. It is old school AF. You can just tell by the color of it. This looks like, this reminds me of the first time I ever drank Ruin 10 from Stone. Exactly. Same color. It's like that burnt orange, almost going towards amber. 2 fingers of just thick, fluffy, bright white head. Tons and tons of champagne-like effervescence. In the glass, it looks awesome. I don't remember the hops in this. Is it like Citra and Simcoe and Mosaic, something like that? I fucking don't know. Cascade? Who knows? I don't remember. Let's smell it. This doesn't smell like a whole lot. That's weird. It's citrusy. I remember this beer smelling really, really intense back in the day. It happens sometimes with beers though. Like there's plenty of beers I reviewed, like the nose isn't great, like doesn't smell like much, but then when you taste it, you're like, oh, it's delicious. Like if I had to pick something out, like just searching for something, it's citrus, like tangerine-y. Maybe a little bit of sweetness, but yeah, not a whole lot of aroma. I mean, this beer is plenty fresh, so it's not like it's an old can. It could just be one of those things. Yeah, doesn't smell like much. I'm just going to taste it. Dennis, cheers. Appreciate you, bro. I don't understand how that fucking works. It does not smell like much, but holy smokes. There is so much sweet orange, sweet tangerine, grapefruit peel. A little bit of like cool, like floral, like maybe pine cone sort of a thing, middle of your palate. Plenty of bitterness on the finish. Like this, what did we say? 80 something IBUs? 80? 90 IBUs? 90 IBUs. I mean, listen, it's not palate wrecking. I don't know how this is 90 IBUs, but there's plenty of bitterness like on the middle of your tongue to the finish. I think a little bit of that 9% is there. Gosh, these little bugs that fly around out in the garage. I think a little bit of that sweetness is some of that 9%. Like it doesn't taste hot. It doesn't feel warm in your chest. But there's a sweetness on the finish of that, which is fine. Like, dude, it's a 9% fucking, this is basically, we're getting into the triple IPA range, right? But so much like candied orange, candied tangerine, grapefruit peel. Yeah, and it's like floral, piney, like that sprucey kind of a thing. Bitterness, middle of your tongue. Maybe like a little bit of like a resinous quality. Right on the middle of your tongue. I'm going to get this thing. Oh, I missed it. And then like you get that like white bread sweetness on the finish. This beer is still fantastic. Is this like, I remember losing my mind over this beer back in the day. Is it still that? Probably not. But I mean, these days I'm not wanting to drink 9% beers. Back when I drank this, I probably wanted 9% beers and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is dangerously drinkable for the ABV for sure. And it's a fantastic 9% West Coast, almost triple IPA. But this isn't something that would be a daily drinker for me, but it's still really, really good. I love like revisiting these beers years later. I'm telling you, man, Fatheads is fucking awesome. I tell the story all the time. For my 10-year anniversary, my wife and I went up to Portland when Fatheads was still there. Portland is an amazing beer town. Amazing. We went to a shitload of awesome breweries, but we spent the most time at Fatheads. If I lived in Ohio, I would be drinking Fatheads all the time. Their clear beer is so good. So that's Hop JuJu. Is this beer still hyped? I don't know. You guys can tell me. It's still really good. I'll tell you that much. From Fatheads. Dennis, I appreciate you sharing this one, bro. So fun to revisit this one. So if you guys have had this, let's talk about it. And if not, this is worth your time. If you guys are still into trading for beers, wanting to try, like, you know, we're still in a hazy beer world. You want to check out some 9% West Coast IPA, check this out. So that's it. See you guys soon. Cheers.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these